This is an Audio Wool original.
Meantime, I just moved to a new place.
Oh, okay. So you got that's not your typical white wall background you have there.
Dude, I don't want you to think that I'm a fucking psycho that likes to work in an all-white echoey room.
I mean, I've got like weird Toolman gear behind me, so.
Oh, I'm gonna buy a pegboard. Don't you worry.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was looking at one the other day, and I was like, I like this.
This was in front of me for the longest time, and then I built a desk over the holidays, and I was like, yeah, I'll look like this guy. I'll be this guy.
I just watched a YouTuber who is like a photographer that has an all-black aesthetic like this. And I'm like, well, that's tempting.
Just hanging out in the void, full of tools. I can hear you better now, by the way.
Okay, cool. I'm using a microphone now.
Oh, cool.
That I put in my PBS News Hour.
I mean, I wonder what kind of reverb you get out of that cup. Talking right into it.
I don't know.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Cool.
I'm really excited to talk to you about this. I've been a fan for a while. I met Bud at Best Fish Taco through Megan Thompson.
Oh yeah, Megan did the key art photos for the movie, and she also did key art photos
really?
for the Golden one.
I know she did the Golden one. I did not know that she did anything for Civil Dead. That's cool.
Yeah, we love her. She's great. So are you an LA man?
No. So I met Megan's from Bozeman, Montana. I'm in Missoula, Montana, and she used to shoot photos for my band a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a clothing company, so I used to always pop down to LA to do photos for that, and we've kind of just stayed friends since then. Yeah.
What's the style of the band?
I got to tell you, I relate to you and Whit quite a bit. I had that primo background, late 2000s. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but it kind of annoys me.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to have in the past. We were called the Sharktopus. So,
well, that sounds kind of fun. I mean, ours was Say Your Last, and all of our like merch and stuff that I did was like very unfunny. And no sense of humor.
It wasn't like what's the band that put out the Pizza EP? Silly Keyboard Band.
Oh, Horse the Band.
Yeah. So we used to play the same places as them, and we got their number somehow and would text them, joke. It was like silly screamo. But
well, that's cool. Yeah, I liked seeing. I saw Horse the Band like a couple of times. One time with Gore in Mobile, Alabama, and another time somewhere else. And like watching them, I was like, man, it looks like they had a lot of fun. And it made me like not like that we did so serious on our like actual band. But even though I did have a joke band called Flawless Victory.
Okay.
It was a mosh band.
Sure, you'd get them to circle up and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And our thing was every time at band practice, we would flip a coin. Heads was two-step, tails was breakdown.
Okay.
And so we would write our songs doing that, and it was a very short-lived band, but it was fun.
I could get down with that. That's kind of a fun audience participation style band. It's like everyone would say that. But yeah, and then I found Power Violence, and I came to town the day that Anton Yelchin died.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was driving in and caught a Power Violence show. I think Brody Stevens was there and the Lucas Brothers.
It could be. We did one a week, and I barely remember half of them.
Yeah, well, it was a good time. So
was it the small theater? I don't remember when all that.
Was it the Satellite?
The Satellite. Okay, we had one. We had like a smaller theater where we did a lot of
black
comedy
box
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
But excited to talk to you about this. I guess, could you start out by sharing a little bit about the Civil Dead?
The Civil Dead is a film about a guy with a friend. And wait, I actually don't know how much I want to reveal.
I know it's tough because that early twist really does kind of set things in a certain direction. So
it's a fun little movie that has a spooky little twist in the middle, and it's a movie about friendship and about growing up and being in your 30s.
Okay, and just wanted to eat candy and fuck around while your significant other's out of town.
Yeah, that was Whit's idea to put that in the synopsis.
Well, is he making fun of your candy eating?
Yeah, and I do a lot of candy eating. For Christmas, my wife got me a big box of Sour Patch Kids, which is I think a 12-pack, and
Okay.
it's gonna kill. It probably took a year off my life.
Are they movie theater boxes or like
Yeah,
bags? Oh,
they're
the
the
little box.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's still, I would eat a box a day,
And are
and
they standard or tropical? Because I've been leaning towards tropical these days.
I really like tropical. They have a little stink on them that is
Okay.
really fun. But
Yeah.
no, they're the normal ones. They're very super sour ones.
Yeah. So you got to work with your wife, though, Whitney, in this.
Yeah, so she is in it. She plays my wife. She also did like the production design
Mhm.
and just a lot of art direction. She did like all the paintings for in the poker scene and all that.
Oh, like the nude couples portrait that was
Oh,
hanging
she
up?
did that one too.
Okay.
That's another one that so. But yeah, she is in that plays. My wife Bud Diaz is in it. He plays Bud Diaz.
Uh-huh.
Wit's in it. He plays
Wit.
Wit. I think that's it for all the people that I casted because they're my friends and I just used their real names.
I mean, you seem to do that quite often. Like in your shorts, I think that Clay is often Clay and Wit's Wit, but it's like always an elevated version.
Well, it's just weird. I don't like. I try to when I first wrote the script, it was like I put my name as Lonnie and Wit's name is something else, and I just like I don't. It feels like I'm playing pretend.
Sure.
And also, it's like it is an elevated version of ourselves, anyways. We're not like putting on a character. I told Wit to be a little dumber, and like he wrote himself a little dumber too when we were like writing it together. But not
You
really
seem a
that
little
much.
meaner, or maybe you're just secretly a bit of a.
I think I'm secretly cranky.
Okay, so
I
maybe
think I'm like
let the crank fly.
yeah. I'm sure, I
All
don't think
right.
I'm gonna let the crank fly. On
Let
this
it
one.
rip. It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. Everyone's flawed, but the Clay in this is a little bit more. Well, I don't know. The thing I took away from this is it seems like maybe the real antagonist is maybe like the struggles of succeeding in LA.
I think the way that I went about this, like how I relate to the story is like I have like this tendency to like when I get older, I
Mhm.
kind of like get more, I become more of a homebody and I become like, there's a really good word for this, but I kind of like,
recluse?
I kind of become a recluse. And so like in the script, I just wanted to test that to its like worst ends,
Mhm.
having just like a little bit of responsibility to a friend and avoid it as much as I possibly can, which is like a thing in me that is real that I don't like. And this, I'm just seeing how far can I push that
Sure.
and how bad of a person can I be?
I think that that's a really relatable feeling. It's kind of the put on your mask before helping someone else in an airplane emergency kind of thing. And I don't know if you could really blame the Clay character for reacting the way he did, you know.
Well, I've screened this for some people where I tell them like, damn, I'm trying to make myself look like an asshole. I'm trying to be really really bad,
Mhm.
and some of the responses are like, you're not as bad as you make yourself out to be in this, and so it's interesting to see like how different people respond to how bad I am
Mhm.
in parts of this movie.
The nuance makes it a little bit more it hits a little bit harder. If you were to lean into full asshole mode, I think you wouldn't be as relatable.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that I do in the movie is just gaslight. Or I think that's a
Yeah.
phrase that probably lost a lot of meaning recently. But just leading people on,
Mhm.
I think is the worst part of my character and the one that I relate to the most because I don't like direct conflict and I just like to push everything off as much as I can until it's bad.
Until it blows up. Yeah.
Yeah, and in real life, that's just me with like emails that I haven't responded to in a long time, and I go,
I got some of those. Yeah. I use reminders on my phone that I constantly say like tomorrow. I like remind me tomorrow. And I get
yeah.
a stack of 20 of those and then it's just the
I
anxiety.
have about 4 of them right now that
Oh,
I'm like,
cool.
fuck it. I think I'm just gonna burn this bridge. I can't. It's gone too far.
Do you want to vent any of those? Let them out?
No, not at all. I
Of
don't.
course not. So
It just makes me feel worse.
What was shooting like? Like I know that it's kind of annoying to talk about pandemic shooting. I'd imagine you've heard that
Yeah.
a bunch. Like,
I mean, it's just like the pandemic wasn't like even an issue. It was just like, everyone had to wear a mask and we got tested. And
mhm.
that was just part of the protocol, and you get used to that pretty easily. It's just about like remembering to put your mask back on if you're like going over footage or whatever. So like that was kind of annoying. I think when the thing that was like most annoying with the shoot was just like we didn't have enough time. We were shooting for like 13 days was our original like shooting schedule, and for a feature that's just like you're doing a lot. Sometimes you're doing like 10 pages a day, and so sometimes like we just like we can't get coverage. So if you watch the movie, you realize we do a lot of like single shots or like I guess oneers. Some of them are like by design because like I like the way those feel, and
Yeah.
you can just sit there and watch. But some of them were actually just because we didn't have a choice, and
Mhm.
we had to get the footage as quick as we can. And it was just a thing. It was hard to get used to at first, just because it's like the fastest I've ever shot anything.
And this is your first feature. You probably took more
Yeah,
time on shorts than you did with
and
this.
it's just like it was just hard to schedule too, because it's like you think you're going to shoot faster than you do, and it's never the case.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just really hard. I think it worked out. I think there's something there. I think the poker scene, if I had even just an hour more, I would like that. But I think with the rest of the movie, I think it kind of fits with like me and Wit feel a lot more free when we're like talking over each other and just
Mhm.
like being goofy and stuff. I think that like the tension of having to shoot so quickly kind of helped with that.
Well, yeah, and I mean the poker scene itself, it's the tension in that. I mean, you got Robert Longstreet, who's incredible.
That was really hard too, because it was like he's the first like real actor, not the real actor, but like the
Well,
real.
he's not one of your friends.
He's not one of my friends. He's like with Bud. I told Bud to come and I sent him the script, and like we didn't do any rehearsals or anything. We would just run the scene and film it. And if I wanted any changes, I would just tell him. But it's like we know each other so well, he kind of already knows what he wants out of me. But with like Robert, it's not even like a problem with directing him, because I didn't really direct him at all. He instantly understood what was going on. It was just like I I wanted to look like professional and make him feel like, hey, you're not on like a student film. This is like a real thing.
Sure.
Even though it's like if behind the cameras, everyone's just on fire and running around, and like no one knows what's going on
Mhm.
because it's like a 2 camera shoot, and we only have 5 hours to get all this poker stuff done. I felt sort of embarrassed to have him there, but
That scene, it kind of makes sense in that situation as well because the character is super uncomfortable to be there to begin with. So,
oh yeah, acting on my end was like very easy because I my job was to look uncomfortable, and I was very uncomfortable
mhm.
shooting that.
And I have to say, I think low key Bud might be one of the best actors in your circle. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit for that. He's incredible.
Yeah, I think I really it's a joy to see him on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always like my favorite person to like I mean besides Wit to like work off of,
Mhm.
or like to like bounce lines off of, because he's so genuine in everything he does. He's a
Well,
little fucking goofball.
he's a bit of a goof. Robert, not so much a goof. Did you find him through Wit? Because I know that they did Sword of Trust together. Is that
Yeah,
right?
they did Sort of Trust together, and they did another movie called The Dim Valley. So like they had a pretty good work relationship, and so
Yeah.
Wit suggested him for his character. Just called him up, and he was just like instantly down. And he was also very cool. I mean, he was like such a team player, and what I was like freaking out about like how the set was going and how like shooting was going, he just felt like it felt like this was just another day for him, and he wasn't. I don't know. He was great to work
I
with.
really enjoyed that scene. I'm trying to think, is there anything that I don't want to spoil too much? Let's talk a little bit about Slamdance.
Hmm.
Folks like Jeremy Saulnier, Ari Aster, Lynn Shelton, they've all screened at Slamdance. You're in a pretty good company. What was it like finding out you were accepted with your first feature?
They were the first to call. It was, I think it's normally like you wait for like Sundance and Slamdance kind of call at the same time, or like in the same time. And they were the first to call. And I was very excited. It was the first time I've ever heard a response of someone like viewing the film that I didn't know. And I was stoked to be a part of it. I mean, the thing with Slamdance that I really, really, really like is it's fucking $10, brother.
Is this their first virtual year? Did they do virtual last year?
They did virtual last year, and then this year was supposed to be a half virtual, half in person. So they already had the virtual like set up, ready to go. And then when they had to cancel, it was just like they already had everything lined up, ready to go. And I'm just like very excited that it's so fucking cheap.
I go to South by Southwest every year that they have it physically, but like most people can't afford that. They don't get to see all these gems until like a year later. So this is really a cool opportunity.
What was the price for the in-person South by?
Oh, I mean, I get press, but yeah, it's like $1,000.
What the hell?
It's significantly different.
Yeah.
You know, I think that could be one good thing coming out of the pandemic is that the infrastructure is there now that people can have something like this, you know. Of course, there's always the worries of like leaking and that kind of thing, but I think that they've figured it out for the most part.
I mean, like, I don't want the film to leak at all, but like, I also, in the same vein, I just want as many people to see it as I can. And as long as the people who funded the movie make their money back, I think I'm good. That's
a good attitude to have towards it. I do have to talk about the pandemic one more time.
Go for it. Yeah, I don't mind.
Witt's comedy special, The Golden One, really helped me through the first part of the pandemic. So thanks for that.
That's what's up.
Can we please get A24 to drop some bonus features? Because I really want to see some of that back home footage.
Fucking, I wish. I mean, listen, if we can ever get a Blu-ray of the sucker, we can fill that thing to the brim.
There's a lot of that trip?
There's like so much of the trip. We shot the documentary stuff in 2 weeks. The first week was all just like me and Whit taking around and just like exploring the town. And then the second week was all family stuff. We knocked out all the family interviews and all that. The whole entire documentary is just the second week. When we tried to add the first week into the cut, it was like 2 hours long. A24 was very smart, and they were like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This doesn't get this out of the movie. I don't need to see you and fucking Clay fishing.
Is this the first time they've done a comedy special?
No, they've done tons. I think they did. Oh. I don't know. I don't remember who they did.
They know what they're doing, though.
We did watch some of their like produced specials.
Sure.
And they're very good. This might be their first. Right? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I know Bo produced it, and maybe they did do Bo's special too. They didn't. I don't think they did do Inside, but Bo was there. He's the one.
Bo was
the one that introduced Whit to A24.
Oh, cool.
But I think that's mainly because he did 8th grade too, which is an A24. So I don't know about the specials. But yeah, I mean, there would be a shitload of unnecessary footage for people to enjoy if we did do a special features.
I think I would enjoy it quite a bit. I've really liked all of your shorts, Blue Line, Buddhist, and then that horror one, Home, that you did. And I actually screened a film that you directed as part of our shorts program at Camp Frightday a couple months ago.
That's what's up. Which one?
Quar, which you made with Anna and Kyle.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that we made purely just to get into a festival.
Yep, that's the one. And we were the other festival that it got into. So
that's what's up.
Really fun. I don't know. Were there any challenges jumping from short to feature? Was this a script or was it an outline?
It was a script. It's all scripted. And when we actually film, we'll go off of the script. It's not one for one, but we know what beats we have to hit. And if there's a joke that I do like that we wrote, then I'll say it verbatim the way we wrote it, which is there's only 2 or 3 instances of that happening. But mainly it's just you read the script, you get the idea. We need to get from here to here. But it's like we have a script that's just like fully. It's not even a beat sheet. It's just like a full script.
It's a script, yeah.
Which is how how we've done like all of our stuff. No matter how much we improv or go off script, and with like short to feature, with shorts, it's like there's a really small crew, and we shoot quick, and that's just how it goes. And with the feature, it's the exact same. Very small crew, we shoot fast, and only thing that is different is like the amount of stress. And with this DP, the DP was like a little more professional than other ones that I've dealt with in the past. So he takes a little longer setting up, just because.
Was that Alex? Who did this one?
This is Josh Hill. Okay. Was our DP, or Joshua Hill, which is, I've never worked with him. It's a guy that the producer knew that I liked his stuff. He was incredible. I mean, for someone, it's like, for the amount of stuff, the resources that he didn't have, he did extremely, extremely well.
Well, and you've developed a pretty particular style in all of your shorts.
Yeah. I mean, that with like all that, it was like, I knew exactly what I wanted, but with like, I'm so stupid when it comes to lighting. I mean, like,
pretty dark.
I mean, it's just like, it's so fucking hard. I mean, you can tell how bad I am with lighting with this Zoom call.
Well, yeah, I mean, the bright light behind you and you completely
very backlit.
Yeah,
that's right. An all white room.
You're leaning into it.
Which is a thing that DPs really hate. They really do not like an all white room.
Not a big fan of that.
Almost painted my entire apartment, but
for the movie.
I had like a dark burgundy, because you get a lot of light bounces off of white walls, and you want to create shadows.
You almost painted your walls, but you definitely cut your hair.
Yeah. And that was actually really annoying, because half of the movie, I will say, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, I bleached my hair blonde. Okay.
Huge spoiler, folks.
And we filmed that like 2/3 in. And so the last third, we had to like bleach my hair, or we had to dye my hair brown. I kept on saying I bleached my hair brown.
Bleach it brown. Okay.
But we had to do pickup shots too of stuff where I had to wear a hat, and like it was really hard to match the hair was I don't know why. Also, so here's another spoiler alert, gang. The bleaching the hair has nothing to do with the story. It barely adds anything. It's just something that I thought was like, look, this boy has changed, and you can tell by his hair.
Recommend people do that kind of thing.
It's very
make a
annoying.
Physical change for pickups.
Yeah, when I first see Whit in the movie, that's like the first day of my hair being dyed, and if you look really close, my hair is like almost like dark red. And every time I watch the movie, I get very annoyed with my hair.
That's frustrating. That's interesting, though. That's a good tip for filmmakers out there.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't bleach your hair.
Don't fucking do it. So I know it's early, but what's next for The Civil Dead? Is there distribution coming, or is that something you're hoping to get out of Slamdance?
So it's something I'm hoping to get out of Slamdance. Whenever like a press release comes out for your film playing at a festival, you get a lot of DMs from just everyone. And like trying to get distribution just through DMs is very interesting.
Universal, Paramount, all the big boys reaching out. 20th Century
What
Fox.
is Sony? Sony's hopping in my DMs?
Oh my God.
No, they're like names I've never heard of.
Okay.
They go, hey, we would love to check out the film for distribution. And I send it to them, and they go, sorry, pal, this is not it. And I go, well, then don't reach out to me. Yeah, what are you doing reaching out to me? Just see it first, then reach out. Goober.
Well, that's exciting. Fingers crossed for you. I think that there's going to be some good buzz coming out of it, because I really enjoyed the film.
Thanks, man. But yeah, I think we're just going to do a whole year of festivals, and then just see after that.
Is there another festival after this lined up?
There's one lined up. I don't know if I can say.
Okay.
I just know I don't know if they released just one, and then waiting to hear back on like 20 more. But
cool.
So it's gonna play at one other festival. So if you somehow missed it this round,
come on, guys, what do you think?
Come on, guys, get it fucking together.
Well, I'm excited for you to get those acceptance DMs from all the other festivals, all 20 of them. I have been putting folks on the spot with a question lately. It stumped Sarah Adina Smith last week. No worries if you don't have an answer. But I feel like as I've gotten older, my finger has kind of slipped off the pulse of up and coming directors. I fell in love with ones from like the mid 2000s, mid 2010s, and I don't feel like I picked up any new folks. People like Alex Ross Perry or Jim Cummings, or those mumblecore guys, Swanberg and Duplass. But are there any up and coming directors that any people just kind of getting started that you're into that you'd like to point out?
Let me think. I mean, there's like two that are obvious that are just friends of mine, Alex Kavutsky and Joey Izzo, who have done stuff in the past that I've really liked and are working on stuff now that are very cool. So that's like the personal one. I'm trying to think of like who I watch recently. Oh my God, I can't really. It's, I mean, like,
it's been hard, like without going to physical festivals, to catch these things as they're happening.
I'm gonna go to my letterbox. This is exactly why a letterbox is around, my man.
Yeah.
There's a movie that I saw recently, or like last year, that no one talked about, called "The Killing of Two Lovers." If y'all can go out and see that movie, that'd be great. Robert McKoy.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something I definitely said that wrong.
That's fine. That was on my radar, and then I ended a relationship with a young lady, and I felt like I didn't want to watch that. No, it's fine, but I didn't want to watch that movie for a bit. But I'm going to come back to it.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff like that I get very triggered by movies if I don't like if it's like something happens to someone's wife, I go, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that.
Not so thrilled with that.
I don't know why I'm fucking so sensitive to that. But yeah.
I mean, what Sarah did is she went on Twitter and followed up with some of that stuff. So you don't need to.
Who did she say? Who are the ones that you really like that people say? Like, I mean, like, I think like I really like Alex Ross Perry. I like there's like two movies I saw recently. Mandibles. And what was that guy's other movie? Deer Skin.
Oh shit! Yeah, he's like from Sweden or something, right? What was that?
That's I can't say his last name. It's Quentin something.
And why don't people get better last names that we can say?
I know exactly. Have you tried Smith?
Have you heard of the name Johnson? I'm trying to think too. Like it's been really hard for me. Like I said, that's why I ask folks. Is I really have fallen off. I got attached to a lot of people like Dennis Whitmer, Kevin Kolch, who are the gentlemen who did. They just did a film at Sundance. The Spring Guys. What were their
Spring Guys?
Well, the Spring Boys. Oh, Justin Benson, Aaron Moorhead, those guys.
What? That name sounds familiar. Who is that?
They just did something at Sundance called Something in the Dirt. But before that, their big one was Spring, The Endless. They did Resolution. I don't know. Maybe check those guys out if you haven't yet. But
yeah, I'm going to look that up.
I don't know.
I also like Rodney Asher. Sorry to interrupt you.
He's like the documentary guy?
Yeah, he did documentary. He did Glitch in the Matrix. He did that the Shining documentary. About the people's different interpretations and conspiracies behind that movie. He did a really, really cool short documentary called S from Hell, I think. It's about people being really scared by the Screen Gems production show, and it's like the eeriness of that thing.
That little logo.
Yeah, and the noise that it makes. That's a extremely good short doc.
And that's before the Shining thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he also did one called The Nightmare. Remember The Nightmare?
That one was not as for me. I don't. There was something about it.
Yeah. No, I get that, but I think the subject matter alone.
It was cool. The sleep paralysis stuff is always interesting. We had a nice conversation with him at a after party of a film festival that took place. It was in Mount Hood, Oregon, I think, where they shot The Shining. So it was the first Overlook Film Festival, I think.
Oh,
yeah, he was a great guy. Super nice guy. I really appreciate the time you took with me here, Clay. I'm happy that we finally got to connect. I need you to make more skateboard videos.
I know, I really want to, but like I said at the beginning, I become more of a hermit the older I get. So me going whenever Whit asks me to go skate, I normally say no, and me doing that is basically the theme of the entire movie.
Okay, that's like the genesis of the whole idea.
Yeah, me saying no to skateboarding is what this movie is actually about.
You heard it here, folks, guys. That's the thesis statement here. I appreciate and relate to the perspective of the stuff that you and Whit are making. And I don't think that there's anyone else really doing the post-hardcore transition into indie filmmaking kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know if there's like a post-metalcore filmmaking scene out there.
Well, I'm right here, man.
Post-metalcore new wave, I would love to be a part of, even though it's music I rarely go back to.
Why would you? You experienced it.
Sometimes I go, remember that Bled breakdown? I like that. Let me check that out again.
Was it Red Wedding, that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can talk about metalcore all day.
You also have a We Were Young poster on your back wall.
Mm-hmm.
What's up
like
with
I
that?
did. Well, I'm so excited for the fest that I
Of
printed
course.
it out, and I'm going to hang it out here, and I'm going to invite people over to check out all these band names.
New apartment, first poster up. Yeah, very much looking forward to it.
First and only.
That's how it'll remain. I hope that we can talk soon. Do more genre stuff. I mean, this was real adjacent, of course, but I took any opportunity I could to talk a little bit about it.
Well, I would definitely love to do more genre stuff. It turns out people really respond to that. I think festivals really like that.
Everyone's looking for the new Ari Aster, so
they really are. And God bless my man.
Hopefully we'll talk again soon, Clay. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Bye, gang.
Bye, gang. The Civil Dead is available to screen until February 6, 2022 as part of Slamdance. It's only $10. Go to slamdance.com. You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McKoy, theme music provided by Cemeteries. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.